Attacks on people began 2 days after this guy broke into the tomb in this area. That's just the recorded ones. We don't know how many have occurred that have not been reported. The attacks take the form of people being cut, bitten, bruised, scratched, burned. One of the most common occurrences is that people collapse. Over 180 people since the occurrence started have fallen unconscious in this area.
I got a call at work saying that Colin had died, and it was then that I thought back to the words he'd said at the graveyard, "This thing will kill me."
Edinburgh, Scotland. You find yourself paying respects to Greyfriars Bobby, the famous Skye Terrier who guarded his owner's resting place for 14 years. You continue to explore the graveyard, but you start to feel an ominous presence. It almost intensifies as you approach an old mausoleum, which is almost black in appearance. You have stumbled across the tomb of a 17th century lawyer, known by many as Bloody Mackenzie. Sir George Mackenzie was born in Dundee in 1636. He was a highly educated man, studying at places such as King's College Aberdeen and the University of St Andrews. During the reign of Charles I, Scotland had a new religious law thrust upon it. The king demanded that the Church of Scotland recognise his divine right as leader, and in 1637 a common book of prayer was introduced across England and Scotland. This interference ultimately led to a civil war, and those leading the resistance were a group known as the Covenanters. George started to really make a name for himself as a lawyer, acting as defence for key members of the Covenanters. His name shot to prominence when he successfully helped acquit Archibald Campbell, the first Marquess of Argyll, of treason. He also found himself involved in the Great Scottish Witch Trials of 1661 to 1662, of which his jurisdiction stood up to 206 people accused of witchcraft. This professional success, however, led to temptation of power and wealth. He quickly switched his moral standing and switched sides, now defending the King of England, and in 1677 he became King's Advocate for Charles II. During 1679, Mackenzie imprisoned over 1,200 Covenanters, who were kept in Greyfriars Kirkyard, with no food, no water, no shelter, and regular beatings from the guards. The end of the year saw only 48 of the 1,200 survive. Henceforth, George would be known as Bloody Mackenzie. Fast forward to 1689, King William III takes the throne, handing back religious control to the Presbyterians that Mackenzie spent so long fighting against, and in his final years he fled to England, passing away in 1691. In an unusual twist, he wished to be buried at the Greyfriars Kirkyard, the Scottish word for churchyard, the very same place where over 1,000 people died as a direct result of his years of service to the king. There he lay silent for over 300 years, through the great grave robbing spates in the 1800s where cadavers were dug up for medical students to practice their craft. Silent until one cold winter's night in 1999. The story goes that a homeless man broke into his crypt seeking shelter, where he fell through the floor, disturbing George's final resting place. Shortly after, a 17-year-old boy by the name of Sonny Devlin also broke into the mausoleum, stealing his head, supposedly yet to fully decompose. Sonny was charged with violation of sepulchre, the first case of its kind for well over 100 years. Since then, hundreds of people have experienced strange cold sensations and signs of being attacked by unseen forces, resulting in visible scratches, strangulation marks, bite marks, and other bruising. Some people have also been known to pass out with no memory of how or why they have found themselves on the floor of the kirkyard. Local school children have also been seen to knock on George's door, asking for him to appear. The danger of such activity should not be underestimated. News of the attacks quickly spread, attracting the attention of Colin Grant, a spiritualist medium. His attempt to exorcise the area was documented by the Edinburgh Evening News. Colin, pictured here, can be seen the night of the encounter. Upon later review, a shadowy figure can be seen watching him from the window. Colin's exorcism attempt was his hardest battle yet, and he ultimately had to give up after collapsing to the ground, uttering the words, "This is going to kill me. This is going to kill me." Unfortunately, Colin predicted his own end and passed away due to a heart attack days after. The council has now blocked off any access to the site, but you can still walk the kirkyard at night, and this is where we pick up our investigation. George Mackenzie. We're here to talk about the witches, the witch hunt, the witch trials, the over 300 women that were burnt at Edinburgh Castle.
He actually was, he said he believed in the existence of witchcraft, but also questioned the indiscriminate prosecutions and demanded stricter standards for conviction.
It's not that bad.
No, he believed it.
So maybe you were just respecting your own resting place when you attacked those people beyond the grave, but any sign here tonight would mean a lot to us. I've heard that you're out here committing harm to people. I want to communicate. Do you want to reach out to us tonight? Are you upset about your tomb being broken into? Your head being used as a football? Is it the blood on your hands from all those people that you put to death that's kept you from going to the afterlife, or is it the grave robbing? You mean you no harm, but we'd like to communicate tonight. George Mackenzie. If you're here, show us a sign. Make a noise, touch me. Bang on the walls. Unfortunately, this time, Bloody Mackenzie did not make his presence known. These type of investigations in a public setting are always difficult, with no control over external sound sources or outside interference. But have you been luckier? If you have any personal stories about Bloody Mackenzie, or any other ghost for that matter, drop them in the comments below, and we'll speak to you next time.